Welcome back, boys and girls. Now you're ready to hunt, but now you need a place to hunt. So today I'm going to talk about what I did to find some great hunting ground, and it really worked out well for me. You really have three options. Number one, public land. Number two, getting a permission to private land. Number three is buying your own property. When I first started to hunt in Virginia 15 years ago, it wasn't easy. Most lands were private land, and the public land we had were limited, and there was way too many hunters in there, and deer population wasn't high. So I started making phone calls. I started with the Virginia Game and Fishery, and they actually gave me a lot of good information, and they also gave me a phone number to wildlife biologists. So I spoke with him as well. And I realized we had more opportunities than I thought we had. We had lottery hunt, we had state park hunt, and they had all these different areas where they want to reduce deer population. So it really worked out well for me. So I was able to fill my deer tag every year. And then nowadays it's so much better because if you go online, Virginia Game and Fisheries site, you could actually get all the information at their website just by clicking. And let me show you how. First, let's type in VA, Game and Fish. There we go. And then click right onto the hunting. And on the main page, go to hunting right there. And scroll down and go where to hunt. And then if you scroll down, you're gonna see a whole bunch of places. Wildlife management area, you go in there, it's gonna give you a list of the places that you could go hunt. Now, it doesn't mean you could go to every single place here because of the driving distance. But if you go into every single one of them, it would tell you the hunting dates, when to apply, what are the rules and regulations are, and all that good stuff. And they even have like a free shooting range, but they do have like dates on it, so you have to make sure you come on those dates. And that's it. And if we go back out, let's say we go to different public land, and in public land you're gonna see different opportunities as well. National parks, state parks, and a lot of those state parks you have to call in and make a reservation. But when the reservation starts, you want to call them like 7 a.m. whenever they open because they go out pretty quickly. So you have to be on your toes. And what I like to do is I like to go into the map because I want to know how far I can drive, and I usually like to stay within 1 hour driving distance because I'm going there in the morning. And see all those yellow colors here? They represent all the public land. Now, as you can see, this vast national forest here looks great and it's beautiful, but if you tap into it, you notice that it says deer available, meaning there are not many deer population there. But the bear is pretty good. And if you go into within the city, you can see that deer are best bet, meaning they have a very high deer population. And if you go into like Fort AP here, this is a military facility, and the deer population there is good, which is pretty awesome. And if you go in here, some of the places where it's only archery hunt, but again, the deer is best bet, meaning they have the highest population there. So that's what I do, and I was able to figure out 3 locations that I like to go, and it's been awesome for me. But the only problem is they have limited dates where you can hunt, and you have to get picked. It's not easy, but I was able to figure out a system where I knew when to apply for it, how to apply for it, when to call. So I was filling my tags every year. And then I was thinking maybe I should look into private land, see if I could get a permission. So after much thought, I decided to tell everybody that I love to hunt and I'm looking for a place to hunt. So when I go to church or any kind of meeting, I would tell them, hi, I'm Dr. Park, and as we get to know each other a little better, I tell them I love to hunt and that's my passion. And people would be a little bit kind of surprised and like, wow, Asian doctor who hunts, that's not common. So anyway, by doing this, it took a little while, but I was able to get a permission to hunt on 2 properties, and it was great. So first opportunity came when I was talking to some guy named Mark at the shooting range. I told him that I love to hunt, but I really don't have any place to hunt. And he told me he knows somebody who owns a good size of land with a high deer population, and he's actually looking for someone to come in and reduce the population. But he doesn't want to have anybody come in. He want to have someone that he can trust. And he told me since I'm a medical doctor, he might actually allow me to come in. So I went over there with him, introduced myself, and I told him we've been hunting with a crossbow only from a tree stand, and we'll be shooting toward the ground. So we won't have any issue with arrow flying into different directions. And Andy was happy. He said, "Yeah, come on in and hunt." So it was, it was a blast from God. And I probably hunted there for close to 10 years, and it was awesome. Every year I was pulling out 3 to 5 deer a year. And just about 2 or 3 years ago, they had a new neighbor who moved in, who was absolutely against hunting. So Andy and he was having a bad relationship. And that new neighbor was actually giving me a hassle whenever I go over there to hunt. He would actually scream at me from a distance and does weird things. So I told Andy, it's been great, and I really appreciated what he did for me, and we will stay as a friend, but I really don't want you to have a bad relationship with your new neighbor. So I told him I won't be coming in anymore. So we are still very good friends, but sadly that had to come to the end. Second opportunity came in a church. I met a very nice elderly gentleman, and he told me he has 50 acres of great land surrounded by farm. And he also loves to hunt, but he's afraid to go into his own property because he knows there's illegal hunters coming in. And he was looking for someone who could manage it for him. So I told him if he gives me a sole permission to hunt, I told him I will kick everybody out. I will put over 100 signs there so nobody could come in. And I will make sure the land stays respectful and clean. Because when I first went in there was beer cans, there was all this nasty, stuff. So I cleaned it all out, and I put over 100 signs. And I've been hunting there for past 13 years. And in fact, most of the videos that you see on my channel is the hunting that's happening in that land. Now, only problem is just last year there was a change of ownership, and I was able to get a 1-year permission from a new owner. But only problem is he's not too thrilled about having hunters coming in. He's a little afraid of responsibility or liability issues. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to get a permission again this year. So I'm actually looking into buying my own property because I can't imagine my life without hunting. And since the property here is doing really well, the real estate wise, I'm thinking I'm looking for land that I could hunt for now and then have it as investment potential in the future. So let's summarize. Number one, you gotta start making phone calls and then get some information and really kind of do the research and try to find a great public land. Number two, be a nice guy. Talk to everybody that you love to hunt and let them know that you're a really nice guy, that they could trust you to have you come into their land to hunt, and the fact that you will respect their land just like if it was your own land. And number three, if all fails, buy your own land. And lastly, like always, thank God for what you have. Enjoy your life with what you got. But mostly remember, it pays off to be a nice guy. See ya.